Hello and welcome to Able Jam TV. Here we give you the best entertainment content like never before. Kindly feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get all our content.
Momentum continues to build for war between Russia and Ukraine. There are now 127,000 troops flanking Ukraine on three sides. Russia is setting up field hospitals along Ukraine's borders, an ominous sign that wartime is nearly upon us. U.S., British, and Canadian embassy staff have been ordered to evacuate, and travel warning advisories have been issued to its citizens. The U.S. is continuing to send tons of strategic weapons and munitions, now totaling $2.5 billion worth, and has 8,500 troops now on red alert standby, while more military support continues to pour in by NATO countries. While this conflict seems to have reached its boiling point, Russia and the West continue trying to talk it out, but both sides have dug in and now seem deadlocked. Will Russia invade Ukraine? Could World War III break out? What many military analysts worry about most is that Putin's increasing propaganda could heighten tensions even further, creating a hair-trigger type conflict that only takes one miscalculation for this whole mess to escalate into full-blown war, or worse, World War III. In order to truly understand what's going on and why 127,000 Russian troops are camped out at Ukraine's back door, you need to get inside the head of one man. Because this is really the story of what Vladimir Putin really wants. Putin would have you believe that his life's work is to undo what he calls the greatest political catastrophe of the 20th century, the breakup of the Soviet Union. He would have us believe that that's what he really wants. But remember, Putin always tries to get his way through lies and deception. So let's go deeper and see if we can, get inside Putin's head to help us get to the bottom of this conflict. On July 12, 2021, Putin went so far as to write a propaganda essay he entitled "On the Historical Unity of Russians and Ukrainians." Sounds propaganda-ish, doesn't it? Which was of course designed to further feed his propaganda machine. For example, in his essay he called Ukraine and Russia one people. He called to liberate the Ukrainian people and go back to the good old days of the USSR. His essay makes him look like the greatest Russian patriot of all time, and makes us believe that the reunification of the great Russian motherland is his life's greatest ambition. In his writing, he even has the gall to blame the breakup of the Soviet Union on the United States. Of course, he so eloquently disguised it by saying that the guilty party were, quote, "those forces that have always sought to undermine our unity." Okay, welcome back to Russia-Ukraine Conflict Explained, No BS, Part 2. In this and upcoming episodes of our series, we're going to go deep from inside Ukraine to uncover the who, what, where, why, and how of this mind-blowing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, so you guys can hopefully make sense of it all. Now, before we get going here, make sure you subscribe and you smash that bell notification so you don't miss out on the inside scoops exposing the hidden truth as reported from government sources inside Ukraine, as we continue to bring you the front line of this conflict from Ukraine. So let's start by digging into Putin's real motives to see why he's gone to such great lengths to stage this hybrid warfare with Ukraine and brainwash all of us to believe his big lie. Now, if you missed part 1, you'll want to go click on the link in the description below this video, and you'll see how it is he's getting away with brainwashing pretty much all of us on planet Earth. Also, in part 1 of our series, we explain the how Putin is planning to get what he really wants. I mean, while he continues to amass, 127,000 troops or so at Ukraine's borders now, Putin still maintains the same narrative. I really don't want to invade Ukraine, but, right? Rather confusing, isn't it?
And Western countries say they fear Putin may be planning to invade. Russia denies this, but has said it could take unspecified military action unless its security demands are met.
So although it sure seems military action is Putin's how, in reality, how he plans to get what he really wants is much different. It's a masterfully planned strategy of brainwashing, fear, and intimidation through classic Soviet hybrid warfare tactics. You can find our full series of explainer videos on this conflict in the playlist link in the description below this video now. First, let's ask the number one cover-up question: why? Why is Putin staging this hybrid warfare with Ukraine? Well, as complex and mind-boggling as this whole conflict is, Putin's MO is rather simple. It's twofold: money and power. Being the world's richest and one of its most powerful men, it's not good enough for him. So his insatiable appetite for money and power is clearly Putin's big why. We'll have more corroborative evidence on that coming up. So let's go deeper to figure out what's his angle. How is he going to get more money and more power? What's he really going for here? What's his play? Let's take a look at his upcoming election just around the corner in 2024. Yet he has a problem. He's faced with his lowest ever ratings. So to bolster his sunken ratings, what does he need to do? Well, he needs to appease or please the people. How can he do that? Well, he can start by improving their economic situation. Okay, well, that takes time. So let's take a look at the worst case scenario. Everybody's afraid of what? Well, especially with all these positioning and support for Ukraine now, everybody's worried about war with Putin against Russia, right? Let's imagine that happens. How is that going to help Putin? Just imagine for a moment, thousands upon thousands of Russian soldiers coming home to their moms, to their babushkas in body bags. What is that going to do to his ratings? Well, of course, it's going to be the kiss of death for his chances of re-election, right? I mean, there's only so far he can take fudging the elections, right? So, begs the question, what the fuck is he doing? Putting 127,000 troops, even nukes now, knocking on Ukraine's borders. How will Putin try to get away with it? Well, for insights to this question, a rather complex question, I would agree, let me introduce you to Putin's most feared man, Alexei Navalny, leader of Russia's opposition party, founder of Russia's anti-corruption foundation.
Alexei.
Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny.